Hello and welcome to another video from the only channel that you need to not only survive the current apocalypse but actually enjoy it. And today's video is just going to be kind of a heads up about what's about to take place on my channel. When I started doing this Bible videos, I was on a channel with my own name. And as soon as I started doing Bible videos, political view videos, I got so much hatred it was unreal. Hatred from my Navy buddies, people that I had been in the military with, people that I graduated high school with from the class reunion, people that were relatives that I met at family reunions, and it just I had to delete all my Bible videos and delete all my political videos until I started this channel that's not in my real name, doesn't tell you where I live, and then for a long time I wouldn't even show you my face. But I made a video several years ago. It was my view of, or I can't remember what it was called. You could just type into the search box on my channel, search my channel for political or religious, and it was something about my way of dealing with political and religious things. And I said in there that I'm not going to make any political or religious videos. If you ask me a question about it, I'll respond to it. But as time went on, and I realized that this anonymity was working and no one knew who I was or where I was, and I was free to say whatever I wanted, and if it made somebody mad, so what? There's nothing they could do to me. Well, I started making Bible videos, and I made my very first Bible video, and I crossed my fingers and I sat back and I got a very good response. Nothing negative. And of course that encouraged me to make more of them. But at that time my channel was very small, and every single person that subscribed, I wrote them a little thank you note. So I knew who was subscribing to me. And as soon as I made the Bible video, there was a subscriber named JW and a date. Just JW and a date. And I know most of you know that I used to be a Jehovah's Witness, but it's been probably 10 or 15 years since I went to a Kingdom Hall. I became a witness in 1989, so however many years that is, that's how long it's been since I became a witness, and then I haven't been for 10 or 15 years. But JW means Jehovah's Witnesses. To us, when Jehovah's Witnesses talk to one another, we call each other or others witnesses JWs, and people that leave the organization refer to the Jehovah's Witnesses as JWs. So I was intrigued. I went to this person's channel, I looked around. No personal information, no pictures, no videos, no favorites, nothing, and only one subscription to my channel. And the name JW and the date, I went and looked. The very first Bible video I ever made at that time was made on that date. So I've said in the past in videos that the Jehovah's Witnesses sent me a message saying that they knew who I was and where I was. That's the message. That's all I got. I can't prove it, but I had a feeling that they were watching me, and so I was very, very cautious with what videos I would make because I didn't want any repercussions from it. And so I've been making a lot of videos, and they're not really tamed. They're very, very strong. They're videos that cannot be disputed. People that look at the Bible and look at the things I'm saying, which the things I'm saying are things that nobody else is saying. But when you check them out, they're true. But there were subjects I wanted to talk about that I wouldn't talk about because they are so deeply ingrained with Jehovah's Witnesses that I knew it would cause me trouble. Now, as time went on, I kept watching this channel to see what activity they were involved in, and nothing at all. Just they were watching my videos from that channel. That's all they were doing. And never commenting, never liking, never disliking, and never subscribing to anything else. So I thought, well, you know what, I am going to test to find out if this is just one witness, or if it's a bunch of witnesses, or if it's the organization in general, the worldwide headquarters in New York watching my videos. I don't know. So I made a video that I'd been wanting to make, but I was scared of making, called Cost of Being a Survivalist / Prepper. And maybe I'll even make a link to that in case you haven't seen it. But in the video, I walk around my property and I point at everybody's house and I say, that guy's got a powerboat and a big screen TV and an SUV. That one's big screen TV, powerboat, SUV. That all these people got all this money invested in these things that have no benefit whatsoever, and they probably don't have any food in their house. So when things go bad, all they got is a lot of luxury items. And I waited because I knew that my neighbors would be mad. And something you need to know is, I used to know for a fact that Jehovah's Witnesses was God's organization. And when the witnesses all started buying property in here, I bought property in here. And so, where I live, there are 8 households, or 7 households, about to be 8. And every single household at the time was Jehovah's Witnesses. Since then, I'm the only one that's not. And I'm at the very end of the road, so I have to drive past all these people to get out of here. But all those houses I was pointing at with all those luxury items, those are Jehovah's Witnesses. And I waited. 3 or 4 days, I didn't see anybody. But somewhere inside of the first week, I passed my neighbor that lives next door to me. And I waved to him, just like I always do. And his face got bright red. And you could tell he was shaking. And he had a look on his face like he wanted to kill me. And I said, yeah, he saw my video. The problem is, he didn't have the internet. So I knew then that at the very least, everybody in my neighborhood was watching my videos. Well, if you've noticed, and a lot of people think I'm like the greatest prepper that ever lived, because I've put all these wells down, and I put a garden in, and I got fruit and nut trees, and something you don't know about that I haven't been talking about is right after I did that, I had a beautiful garden started. Well, I went to make a video about my garden, and like a week later, everything in my garden died, all at the same time. You could tell, I mean, at the time, I'm thinking something just went wrong, because I'm not insidiously evil, so I can't think like an insidiously evil person. But everything in my garden died. So then, I did a video about my fruit trees, and man, I spent 2 weeks answering comments about, oh, your fruit trees are so beautiful, how do you plant them, and hey, well, then all my fruit trees died. So I did a video about chickens, and all my chickens died. And it's still, I honestly just, this is another reason I didn't want to do this video, is I've got a lot of people that have a lot of respect for me, and right now you're going, wow, you are so stupid, but you really just don't understand. It's like being in the Amish. When you leave Jehovah's Witnesses, you really don't leave. There's no getting away from it. The rest of your life, you're just an ex-Jehovah's Witness. You never move on to be anything else. And everything you do in your mind processes it like a Jehovah's Witness. And when I see elders, in my mind, I'm still thinking, these are people that can do no wrong. And look, over the course of my life, I've seen elders that raped little boys moved from congregation to congregation. I promise you I've seen that firsthand. And while it was happening, I was in denial, because it was programmed into me to be in denial. In fact, you're told that if you say or think anything bad about the elders, you know, that's a direct attack against God, because those elders are appointed by Jehovah's Spirit. Please don't think any less of me. This is, unless you've been through it, you can't understand what it's like. But in any case, you know, we've had, over the course of 15 or 20 years, horrible things done to us, and I thought maybe if I just stay here and hide and don't say anything to offend them and just try to be nice to them, that they'll leave me alone, and they don't leave you alone. And you know, the main complaint I hear from people is after they leave the organization, every week the witnesses knock on their door to beg them to come back. That never happened to me. What they did with us was they took our possessions, or vandalized our possessions. They stole all our money. I mean, back when I was a witness, they defrauded us out of our home. We had a nice paid-for house, and I sold it to buy this property, and when I sold it, they defrauded us. The elders came and, well, one guy wasn't an elder. He defrauded me out of like $32,000, which is basically all I got for my house, and when it was over with, they made him an elder. So that's the way that works. And I've had an elder that stripped me of my possessions. One stripped me of my money, one stripped me of my home. You know, I've got an elder that's poisoning my garden, killing my fruit trees, slaughtering my chickens. They've poisoned my dog. They killed my cat. The list goes on and on. Now, when I say Jehovah's Witnesses did these things, it's actually could be considered slander, because Jehovah's Witnesses didn't do these things. That was just one rogue witness. You know, well, look, every single one of them is a rogue. And I've been told over years and years and years that if they're actually involved in these things, they'll be dealt with. Jehovah will deal with them. He doesn't allow, he's got a clean organization. He doesn't allow an unclean organization. And look, this has been going on for 15 years, and all the guys are still elders. The one that wasn't an elder got made into an elder. They're not rogues. This is how they operate. And so all this fear of man, and the Bible says, you know, don't fear man who can kill your body. Fear God who can kill your whole person. I wish I'd remember where that scripture was. I could tell you, but it's in there. Maybe I'll put it in the description. But I'm over that. It can't get any worse. I mean, they could kill my mom, kill my wife, burn my house down, kill me. I don't know, but we are so miserable living here, and we can't move. I've talked to the police, and they've said, you know, we can't really do anything unless you catch him on film. And I mean, I've watched the man come over to the fence and throw weenies to my dog, and then I have to rush my dog to the vet, and the vet tells me your dog is poisoned. I have caught an elder on my property with a BB gun slaughtering my chickens. I chased him over to his property and started cussing him out, and he says, "You will not use that foul language on my property." Now, this is a man that was just in my yard, caught red-handed in my yard, slaughtering my animals. And he's gonna, you know, get on to me for using the F word. Well, anyways, you're going to see a few videos that seem to be specifically aimed at Jehovah's Witnesses. Watch them anyway. They're going to be a little bit odd because I'll be using Jehovah's Witness language. There are words that are unique to, they say things like, when they talk about the new heavens and the new earth, they call it the new system. If you hear me say new system, just know that that's the arrangement that will be here after the resurrection. They talk about the faithful and discreet slave, and so I'll probably use that term. That's basically just the Jehovah's Witnesses. There's a scripture in the book of Revelation about angels that are gathered around the throne of God. And the belief of the Jehovah's Witnesses is that those are human beings that turned into ghosts or something, went to heaven, and they're going to, 144,000 that are going to rule over the earth. Those are the faithful and discreet slave. But if you hear me use something, words that don't make any sense, don't worry about it. Just try to listen to the message. They're good videos for anybody, but at this point I have no more fear. The videos I make are not going to be picked on whether or not they're going to offend my neighbors. I don't care if they're offended anymore. You know, I mean, we're very, very close to the day when Babylon the Great is to be done away with forever. Probably they're not going to be a problem much longer. So, and look, I don't want to make this an anti-Jehovah's Witness channel. You already know I'm very, very much against human religions. Jehovah's Witnesses is just another human religion. The only problem I have with them that's unique is that I used to be one. Now, I used to also be a Catholic, but I really don't have any problem with them because Catholic Church is just a place where people go to kneel down, light a certain number of candles, eat a sacred piece of bread. It's not really a spiritual thing. It's just something that they feel like they have to do. And so the people that are in there are not especially spiritual people, but the Jehovah's Witnesses specifically target spiritual people in their ministry, people that are upset with social injustice. You know, Catholic Church doesn't really address that. There are people that are upset with you know, supporting the carnal warfare of the governments. You know, every religion on earth does that. If you're a religion, I don't care if you're Hindu, Buddhist, or Christian, and you're in, you know, some country, France, and France decides to kill everybody in Jamaica, then all the churches back that. And so, you know, Jehovah's Witnesses target people that refuse to participate in the slaughters of the governments. And so they're going after God's people. You know, this is not, Catholic Church is not out there trying to target the cream of the crop. They'll take what they can get. The Jehovah's Witnesses try to get the ones that the Catholics can't get. And so that makes them rather unique. But in any case, this is actually a good thing, because when I get back on track with my Bible videos, I'm going to be free to make videos about anything I want, no matter who it offends, because life can't get any worse than this. You know, when you've got people, when you have to have your wife lay down on the floor of the car to go to the store so that your neighbors don't know the house is empty, life can't get any worse than that. Oh well. If you don't want to survive, don't listen to me.